Cheerful? Weary? Amazed? What, unimpressed? I do all of it. Overdo replaces AI-generated opening after viewer backlash. Overdo, also known by its Chinese title, 这一秒过火, starring Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan, has become a major topic of discussion following its premiere on the 19th. But instead of focusing only on the drama's story or performances, viewers quickly turned their attention to something much shorter. The opening sequence. The drama had already attracted significant attention during filming, with Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan leading a tragic romance and the project being viewed as a major 2026 release. Expectations were high. However, the opening title sequence unexpectedly became a source of criticism. After viewers noticed its heavy use of AI-generated visuals, the reaction was strong enough for the production team to apologize and replace the original opening with a completely new sequence. So, what caused the backlash? And was the problem really AI itself? An ambitious opening that failed to impress according to the information available. The original opening was created with the intention of telling part of the lead's emotional story. The production team explained that it wanted to use a fast-paced montage to help viewers understand the character's childhood experience and emotional backstory. Rather than simply presenting a conventional collection of clips, the opening attempted to create a more stylized visual introduction. Several dramatic images were reportedly included, such as a field of flowers, an underwater sequence, and a burning house. On paper, the concept sounds ambitious, but the response from many viewers was very different. Critics complained that the sequence looked unnatural and overly synthetic. AI-generated figures, stiff lighting effects, and heavily stylized imagery reportedly made the opening feel less like a polished television production and more like an inexpensive short-form drama. Some viewers even mocked the visuals for looking cheap and hideous. One particularly notable criticism was that the visual effects sometimes made it difficult to see the characters' facial expressions. That point matters because the production team said the purpose of the opening was to communicate emotional details about the main characters. If the audience is unable to clearly see the characters themselves, the visual concept can potentially lose some of its emotional impact. This is an interpretation based on the reported criticism, rather than a confirmed statement about the effectiveness of the sequence. But it helps explain why the reaction went beyond simply disliking an unusual visual style. Was AI really the problem? Interestingly, not everyone criticized the use of AI itself. Some netizens argued that the entertainment industry has already entered an era in which AI technology will become increasingly common. From that perspective, using AI in a drama's opening sequence is not necessarily surprising. Some also pointed out that opening and ending sequences can be skipped. Viewers who dislike an opening can simply move on to the main episode without affecting the actual story. That argument suggests that the controversy may have been exaggerated if the opening itself does not affect the main drama. However, other viewers strongly disagreed. Their criticism focused less on the existence of AI and more on the quality of the final product. The argument was straightforward. If Overdo is a high-budget production with considerable public attention, viewers expect the finished product to look polished. For these critics, the problem was not simply that artificial intelligence was involved. The problem was that the result appeared, in their view, to fall below the standard expected from a major production. This distinction is important. It would be inaccurate to summarize the controversy by saying that viewers simply hate AI. The information available shows a more complicated debate. Some viewers accepted AI as part of the industry's future, while others questioned whether technology should be used when the final visual result does not meet audience expectations. Why the backlash became so noticeable. The reaction may also be connected to the level of anticipation surrounding Overdo. The drama had generated attention since filming, with Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan serving as its highly visible leads. The tragic romance theme also contributed to interest in the project. Because of that anticipation, viewers were likely paying close attention to the drama from the moment it premiered. This does not mean every viewer expected perfection, and there is no evidence that all viewers reacted in the same way. But when a production already has a high level of public attention, even a relatively small creative decision can become a major topic of discussion. An opening sequence is especially visible. It appears at the beginning of the viewing experience and can become part of a drama's visual identity. When the opening is well received, it can reinforce the atmosphere of a series. When viewers strongly dislike it, that reaction can become part of the conversation surrounding the production. That appears to be what happened with Overdo. Instead of remaining a minor design choice, The opening became one of the earliest controversies connected with the drama. The production team responds. The situation changed when the production team issued an apology. According to the information provided, the crew apologized sincerely to viewers and explained the original purpose of the opening. The team said its initial intention was to use a fast-paced montage to help audiences better understand the lead character's emotional backstory and childhood details. In other words, the production did have a specific creative reason for choosing this approach. But the team also acknowledged that the final result had caused a major backlash. Rather than simply defending the original sequence, the production took a more direct step. It replaced the opening with a brand new sequence. That decision is one of the clearest confirmed developments in the controversy. The original AI-generated opening did not remain unchanged after the backlash. The production team responded to the criticism and made a visible adjustment to the released drama. Whether that change will have a lasting effect on audience opinion remains unclear from the information currently available. It would be too strong to claim that the replacement completely solved the problem or that every viewer was satisfied with the new version. What can be said is that the production considered the reaction significant enough to apologize and replace the sequence. A bigger debate about AI and entertainment. The Overdo controversy raises a broader question about how AI should be used as entertainment. AI technology can offer new ways to create visual sequences and experiment with ideas that may be difficult to achieve through traditional methods. But technological innovation does not automatically guarantee artistic quality. The most important issue may ultimately be whether the technology serves the story. In the case of Overdo, the production wanted the opening to communicate the emotional history of its characters. However, according to the criticism described in the available information, many viewers became more focused on the artificial appearance of the visuals than on the story the sequence was supposed to tell. That creates a gap between creative intention and audience reception. A production team may have an ambitious concept, but viewers ultimately experience the finished product rather than the intention behind it. If a visual technique attracts too much attention to itself, it can potentially distract from the characters and emotions that it was designed to support. That does not prove that AI is unsuitable for television. It simply shows that the quality of its implementation matters. The debate surrounding Overdo is therefore more nuanced than AI versus traditional production. The real question is whether a new tool can be used in a way that improves the viewing experience rather than distracting from it. What this means for Overdo at this point, the most important facts are relatively clear. Overdo premiered with considerable anticipation surrounding its cast and story. Its original opening used AI-generated visuals to present elements of the lead's emotional history and childhood. The sequence received strong criticism from viewers who considered its visual quality poor and overly artificial. Some viewers defended the use of AI and argued that opening sequences can simply be skipped. The production team then apologized, explained the original creative intention, and replaced the opening with a new sequence. What remains uncertain is the long-term impact of the controversy. There is not enough information here to determine whether the backlash affected the drama's overall performance, ratings, or commercial results. There is also not enough evidence to claim that every viewer rejected the original opening or that everyone now approves of the replacement. Those conclusions would require additional data. According to the information currently available, the safest conclusion is that the controversy centered on the execution of an AI-generated opening, rather than on a universal rejection of AI technology. Final thoughts. The situation surrounding Overdo is an interesting example of how quickly a small creative decision can become a major entertainment discussion. The production attempted something visually ambitious. The intention was to use a fast-paced sequence to deepen the audience's understanding of the lead characters, but the result received significant criticism. For some viewers, the issue was not AI itself. It was the perceived gap between the quality they expected from a major production and what they saw on screen. The production team ultimately chose to acknowledge the backlash, apologize, and replace the opening. From these facts, one broader lesson stands out. New technology may create new possibilities, but audiences still judge the final result. An innovative tool cannot replace the need for strong storytelling, convincing visuals, and careful execution. For Overdo, the original opening may now become a footnote in the drama's release history, but the discussion it created highlights a much bigger question facing the entertainment industry. As AI becomes more common in visual production, will audiences care less about how something was made, or will they become even more demanding about the quality of the final image? For now, that question remains open. What is confirmed is that Overdo listened to the backlash, apologized, and replaced the controversial AI-generated opening. Everything beyond that, including the long-term effect on the drama, still needs to be judged by what happens next.